Whew. All right, everybody. I am your host. My name is Daddy, and I'm learning how to law. Getting ready for work. No rest for the weary, right? Gotta go make some money. Hopefully, DoorDash will kick back on. It was on earlier. I signed on, but because I was doing all this, I didn't pay attention, and I didn't check. But DoorDash kicked me off because I was inactive too long. So that's my fault. Trying to get back on. I may or may not be able to. Kind of sucks, but we're gonna try it anyways. In the meantime, the video that you're about to see, it was an hour-long phone call that I took out a bunch of other stuff, because right now, just the point and purpose of this video is I'm going to show you, everybody has the same universal rights afforded to us. However, when public officials go and overstep their bounds and they violate your rights, and then they violate your rights to begin with, they're made aware of it, and then they continue to violate your rights, not only have they overstepped their bounds, but now they're malicious in all their actions. So notice that the person that I'm speaking with, her client very specifically, is the City of Lewiston Police Department and the City of Lewiston itself, okay? So I came to them for help, right? I was told, you'll find that out in a different video, because I gotta get a timeline going. That's going to be one of the next videos, but I'll explain everything in a nice timeline for you so you can better understand. This video very specifically deals with let me show you, hold on one sec. Constitutionally protected freedom of thought and religion, freedom of opinion and expression, right? There's lots of other things in here very basically, but again, and then your very basic human rights can't be taken away. The fact that these are police officers and lawyers, like, you're also violating a whole lot of other laws, and actual human rights. But again, that's for different videos. This video very specifically is only, I want you to count how many times she violated our right to freedom of thought and religion and freedom of opinion and expression, because if we're having a conversation, which we did for the first 28 minutes, right? Like, I said my stuff because it was a complaint, right? I stated that I needed help filing out this form. I explained all the reasons why, what I did, the steps I took, and what happened during the initial call. Something that should have been quick and painless ended up in over 15 minutes, and then I got hung up on, and I wasn't helped at all. Like, that's why I'm talking to you, because I don't know what to do, where to go. I don't know what the next step is. Previous person didn't explain that, right? So I had a valid complaint. First Amendment right, I have the right to make a complaint, and then I have a right to basically address those complaints, right? So when I come to you and I ask you for help to file a complaint, so that was, give me a confirmation number, so that was I can later see what happened with the complaint, that is my First Amendment right. When you deny me the right to make a complaint in any way, shape, or form, that's a First Amendment violation, okay? You being an attorney, because you're going to watch this, you should know better. So not only is it just a First Amendment violation, but again, again, freedom of thought and religion, freedom of opinion and expression, right? Because the attorneys in the police department. So City of Lewiston attorney, she is if you look on the city list, sorry, this is just a small tangent, but it's completely 100% relevant, right? Go City of Lewiston, look up City of Lewiston Police Department, click on it. There's a tab over on my phone. It's really hard for me to find it. That's why I can't really remember. It's really hard to find it. But there's a public records page in one of the links, in one of the tabs. You click on that, and then down at the bottom, it has records custodians, and she's listed very first because she's city attorney, and I don't know what else comes, but I'm assuming it goes based off of alphabetical order. Attorney would be first. So she's listed there, right? It's just her name. She is the public records custodian. So if you have questions and concerns, you have to go to her. She has to answer you, because we, the public, may or may not know, or we, the public, may or may not know everything, and that's why we have questions, okay? Or if we have a complaint about the people that work under you or the people that you represent, you legally have to take the complaint, okay? You can't show bias and not take a complaint just because it's against the people that you represent or the people that work for you, or they're your friends, or this or that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? One of the things that I made very clear to her is, it doesn't matter if you're having the worst day in the world. Like, I listed her off the worst explanation I could come up with off the top of my head, right? Because if you can remember the example that I'm going to use, you're going to remember the conversation, right? Like, it's a trick that I've learned. You either use laughter, you either use fear, or right? Like, I'm not trying to scare anybody. No, like, I'm trying to make people laugh, right? I will use an extreme example, right? But it's not going to scare anybody. It's like, oh my God, did he really? Yeah, well, this has happened before. I can pull plenty of videos off of this source or that source, right? The news, the YouTube, right? Facebook, friggin' TikTok has a ton nowadays. It's been flooding my stuff. But again, like, I can source what I'm saying, right? That's why I was like, oh my God, did you see? Like, right? I'm trying to make you guys aware. In this instance, I have 46 videos now of evidence for the City of Lewiston Police Department and Attorney's Office, and all just based off of their misbehavior. And now that doesn't even count all the stuff with the company who violated our rights in the first place and stole our identity and committed like 30 different crimes against us that I brought to their attention months ago. So here we go. Remember, please, this is not how I normally talk. I will explain my background here in a future video, because I have instances where I try to explain my background and how I know what I'm talking about, and she would cut me off. I wouldn't be allowed to explain it, but it's still relevant, because in the denial letter, she stated very specifically that I don't know what I'm talking about, and there's no way that I could possibly, right? Like, so I'm paraphrasing. That may or may not be exactly what she said, but again, I'm paraphrasing, but I don't know what I'm talking about, and there's no way that I could explain it, or there's no, she doesn't understand that based off of the evidence, how I could possibly explain it in a way that you all would understand. So sorry for the long-winded explanation, but it's all relevant, okay? The next part is I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to go inside real quick before I take off. I got to get out of this until I actually get to dashing. It's hot. It's really hot. It's hot inside the house. It's hot everywhere. It's like 95, 100 degrees out here. So got to go run around in that. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cool. Don't stay warm. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. If it is snowing in some parts of the country, which is insane at this time of year, you stay warm. You stay safe. Bring your animals indoors, okay? Because apparently it's snowing in certain parts of the world, and that's crazy. But yeah, thank you for letting me rant. Like and follow the video. Subscribe for more, because I might put the future videos behind a subscribe button barrier, so you'll still be able to watch them. You just have to be subscribed to the channel. And it's all completely relevant if you live in Lewiston, Idaho specifically, but the state of Idaho, the state of Montana, the state of Washington State, and Canada, as well as the United States in general, because if you're traveling and you come to any one of these states and you shop in this store specifically, they're going to violate your rights and get away with it. They have since 2016. That's why I say they're going to get away with it, because that's another thing I'll show you in one of the next videos. This is not libel and slander. They state in their privacy policy, in their terms of use, and or their photography policy, that they will steal all this information, right, against your will, right? And they cite multiple ways, like it's a huge multiple page paragraph, or multiple paragraph, tons of pages, right? Like, but it states very clearly in multiple spaces that we're going to steal it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and you have nothing. You can't say or do anything about it, because we claim it for perpetuity, and right. So, but their accomplices, the people that they sell and share this information to, that after they steal it, which is illegal, that's identity theft, right? After they steal it and sell it or share it, that becomes aggravated identity theft, and it becomes conversion, because they've converted it from their property, from your property or my property and my wife's property in our instance, into their property, right? And then they've gone and sold it, so that's conversion. They've stated that this is no longer yours, it's ours, and we can do whatever we want with it, right? And then they cite multiple ways and instances, like, okay, this is why, right? We're going to use it this way, and you can't do anything about it, okay? So sorry again, all of this completely relevant. It's just you need to understand certain things before you see the video, right? You need to understand that I've been dealing with this for the last 10 months just for myself, because we had several $100s, okay? I don't remember the exact amount. It was several $100s. It was more than $300, which is a felony. And because it was multiple instances, it was a felony. And because it crossed state lines, it was a felony. And because of this and that, and it was, like I said, there's like 30 different felony instances that I have down on paper. And that's between me and my wife. My instance started September or October of this last year, so it's 10 months, right? At this point, we're literally into July now, in just another day or two, so 11 months it'll be. And then my wife had her stuff happen to her in April, and I've been trying my hardest. I'm trying to censor myself because I'm a little amped up. Excuse my language if something slips out. I apologize. I've been trying to take care of all this for months, and I've gone to the police. They were no help. They were less than helpful. They violated our rights in so many different ways, and they all claim it's because they don't have to follow federal code, that they only have to follow Idaho code. The attorney that we're about to speak with, she only has to follow Idaho code, and she doesn't care about anyone else. And you're going to hear part of it, because like I said, the conversation was over an hour, and I cut it down to about 24 minutes, and then I went and I put a small clip at the front of it. So let me know if you would want an attorney who goes out of their way. The first two clips, I'm gonna just give you a brief explanation. Let me know if you would want an attorney representing your town, or just in general representing anyone, period, if they were to openly mock a judge, or if they were to go out of their way to call you, the people who pay your tax money. Listen to the example that she gives. I don't want to give anything away, but this is the exact same thing that that the police said. That's why I'm trying to get the FOIA request, because my cameras are very dull. The way that I was handling it and the way that I had it placed down, my microphones are crap. And then the source that I was using, they purposefully hid all of the information. As soon as the police officer showed up, they cut the video. So I don't have that technically. Right, but we have it from a third source. We have it from an actual other camera. So, like I said, everything that I'm saying, I can verify. It's just, like I said, I'm trying to get the FOIA request because I have unclear audio, and I'm just trying to clear things up. Okay, so listen to that, because we have our rights to access this information. I have another video. Officer states it's all public record, and he offers his his chest cam at least twice in that video. Again, you're all going to see this, but you have to subscribe. Please like the video. Please share with anyone that you know who likes either a good story. It's not gossip. 100% of this is true, because I have it on video evidence. They cannot deny a video. That's the nice thing. You cannot trespass the eyes. That's why you record everything that you can in public. You cover your butt. You protect yourself. You save yourself, because they are not going to do it. They are blatantly going to go out of their way to violate you and your rights and your family, and because they can charge you if you commit a crime. They can charge you because of made up crimes that go against the actual Constitution, right? As you're gonna go and find out very shortly, they don't have to follow the federal code, right? They're Idaho only. We're visiting, we're on vacation, we came here to visit family, and our rights were violated. We reached out to you for help, right? We follow Colorado code after we follow universal law, which is the Constitution, because Article 4 very clearly states that no law is above the federal law, right? Like the Constitution is above all, just that's it. That's the law of the land. You can't go against the law of the land. You can't go and make your own set of rules and think that you can get away with it and not follow federal law, right? So in the next, you can count how many times she said it in in this instance. Oh yeah, DoorDash just came on. Okay, I gotta go, guys. I'm gonna put this video together. Sorry for the rant. Please like and follow. Please. Oh wow, they changed. Oh wow, they changed the whole menu. What is going? Okay, I'll be back. They made a bunch of changes. I got to take screenshots of this. I got to see if because they didn't send emails about this, so this is weird. If I have to, I'll put videos out on the forum for the YouTube. I'm exhausted. Like I said, I'm going off of 3 hours of sleep in the last 72 hours. I got to go make some money now. I will talk to you all here in a little bit. If this is important, relevant to Dashers, I will put it on the Dasher Reddit forum. My wife goes crazy on that, and there's a ton of stuff that you all need to know. Other evidence, other videos that I can provide to help you all out. You let me know, because yeah, like DoorDash and company is basically screwing their employees as well. I got tons of videos on that like I said, I thought it was DoorDash that was doing it, but no, it was this other company. It wasn't my employer, but because of all the other Reddit forums and posts and stuff, when I called and complained, they're like, yeah, no, we already know about this, so don't worry, we're gonna take care of it. So, but I gotta go and I gotta call all these 3-letter acronym companies now to file a complaint against the actual company. So, like I said, I gotta go try and make some money. Wish me luck. You all stay safe, stay warm if it's cold, and stay cold if it's warm. All right, everybody, I just finished. Let me show you what I got. We're gonna go. How many times did she interrupt us? First Amendment audit, and we're using Shotcut. So if you need to know how to take a video that's an hour long and edit a whole bunch of useless stuff out, right? Like we did here. See, that's one cut it there, there's a new one, cut it there, there's a new one, cut it there, right? So all these cuts, all the stuff in between, I took out, right? So lots and lots and lots. Right there, took it out, right? That way, took it out more, right? So instead of being an hour long, it's now less than half of that. So I apologize if the video is going to go a little long, but thank you for watching. But you'll find that out later, because I'm allowed to express myself, and you're not allowing me to do so. So please stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Thank you.
But you're expressing yourself in a manner that is time-consuming and unrelated.
I'm sorry you're supposed to do your job, and you guys have failed to do your job up to this point. So yes, I'm now causing you to further do your job by submitting a complaint and helping me to actually do your job by telling me where to file said form. If you don't want to give me your information, that's fine. I'll get it later. That is perfectly fine. And I don't care if you don't like how I'm speaking to you now. Because you were rude, I had to change how I was talking. See how I'm not done talking, Judge, and she still wants to go and interrupt what I'm saying? She's not letting me get through my thoughts and beliefs. This is another thing. No, that's okay. Yep.
Yes, my name is Jennifer Tangano. I'm the city attorney for the city of Lewiston and the supervisor for Lorraine Goodson.
Awesome. So, of benefits, like, you know, stuff that's paid for by taxpayer money, or no, ma'am, stop.
That's
no,
my salary and my benefits together. It's $77.77 per hour.
I know it is. Please don't interrupt me. I let you speak, and you just interrupted me. So if you have to, I'll call you out. And when I speak to the judge, I will make sure that I'll have you put up for violating my right to. There's a whole bunch of rights, but you'll find that out later. Because I'm allowed to express myself, and you're not allowing me to do so. So please stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. Thank you.
But you're expressing yourself in a manner that is time-consuming and unrelated.
I'm sorry you're supposed to do your job, and you guys have failed to do your job up to this point. So yes, I'm now causing you to further do your job by submitting a complaint and helping me to actually do your job by telling me where to file said form. Because yeah, no, that is highly unacceptable. But again, as you already stated, under the three things, I told you in the FOIA request, this qualifies as multiple teaching instances because, and I don't remember the specifics because I wrote it multiple times. I don't remember which one I sent to you specifically, if it was the fully updated one or if I went back and I changed it after the fact. But I'm not done talking. Judge, she's interrupting me again. She's interrupting me again, Judge. 1987 case, Houston versus Hill. I can interrupt her, but she can't interrupt me. She's a public official acting outside of her scope. I will be filing litigation against her, Judge. Thank you, Judge. She still has not answered my original question as to where I can file the... I understand everything that you're saying, but you are further elongating the instance. Okay, if you're telling me that I didn't put something in there, that's fine. Tell me where I can go and file the FOIA request waiver form, and I will include it in that. See, it's that simple.
We don't have a form. I've already told you that.
Okay.
You just have to submit something in writing that demonstrates those three things that I read to you out of Idaho Code.
Okay.
And then it will be evaluated.
And I did. Very specifically, well, it is a teaching instance. It is a teaching instance. Yeah, exactly. It is a teaching instance. I have multiple platforms where I can teach about all of these issues. Number one, very specifically, I have videos talking about what to do when the police violates your rights. It's now I'm gonna be taking this phone call and I'm gonna be amending it to a future video talking about what to do when a lawyer violates your rights. Right, because you are in cahoots with the city of police, the Lewiston Police Department, and you're very blatantly refusing us service. Like I said, stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. That's fine.
Of Lewiston's attorney.
Okay.
I represent their interests.
And you are still violating my rights, ma'am. You are still violating my rights, and you will be receiving litigation for it. When I file a litigation against them, I will also be including you. Thank you very much. But again, that's for a different thing. You've already verified over several times that you're rude and you don't care about us, that we are just a waste of time. That literally came out of your mouth verbatim, waste of time. Thankfully, I have it recorded. But again, that goes back to the entire city.
I mean, you
Stop interrupting me.
But you and I have never communicated.
No, we haven't.
Now,
and I was being very
respectful.
respectful.
So,
like I said, I was talking, and then I told you that I'm going to let you talk.
And
when
and that's not really respectful.
When you are violating my rights, there's a.
I was divorced and had 8 kids at home.
No, you already violated our rights. Your office violated our rights starting as far back as May 22nd and going up till now. You guys have violated our rights till that long. So excuse me for saying something in the heat of anger, right? That was maybe a full 60 seconds of me going off and saying, I don't care about the situation. Yeah, I did. I said that. That was a minute. You guys have put us through several weeks of emotional distress. The people who we pay to help us, you have not helped us. And again, this is a perfect example of all you had to do is just say, guess what? There was no form. The previous person I spoke with couldn't do that.
Guess what?
No.
There is no form.
Guess what?
There is only Idaho code that outlines the criteria that must be submitted.
Okay, so I'm going to...
You have not yet done so.
I have done so. Just because you believe that it has not been... No, I told you in the thing... multiple teaching moments, that qualifies under the first instance of public knowledge. Because like I said, if I can show the public that my rights are being violated, hey, maybe yours might too, there are going to be a ton of people who are like, hey, I spoke to such and such officer on March 31st. Hey, I spoke, this is a different person. I spoke to someone last year, September, right? Because, oh, guess what? I had money taken from my account. I have pictures. I have my bank, right? That was me last year. Right, I'm trying to reach out for help, and no, right? Like again,
well, you have to meet all 3 under the code.
It's not all 3. It's all I have to do is just meet one of the criteria. It doesn't say all 3.
Where does it say that? Where does it say or?
Where does it say and? Huh? Where does it say and?
Number 2.
Where?
It says it under number 2.
Does it say it? Does it say it under number 1? Because 1 comes before 2, does it? One of the 3.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, we can. That's the nice thing about it.
I don't have to follow your interpretation of what you think the law is.
Just like all the...
I don't represent you or your interests individually. I represent the city of Lewiston.
Yeah,
the city of Lewiston's interests.
Yeah, so thank you, Judge. See, that right there, she doesn't care about public interest. She doesn't care about the fact that her city's citizens are being violated. Their rights are being violated. She doesn't care about the fact that her police officers are the ones, in fact, helping to violate said rights. It's not just big business, but it's actual police officers, right? Like, and then again, I just asked for a simple bit of help, and First Lady couldn't do it. She couldn't do her job. She wanted to just tell me a statute. She couldn't tell me what she
did do her job.
No, she didn't. She didn't. I have a recording. I have a recording where she did not tell me where to go. She said, I need to go double check, and then before I tell you anything else, and then she came back immediately with an Idaho code. She didn't tell me where to file the stuff. That the Idaho code,
there's not a specific way that you have to file it.
So then say that. The public does not know that.
Told you that there's not a form.
If I go online, because I do not work for the city of Lewiston, and the online stuff that you and your people, because when you go and you submit a company to be put online, right? You go and you list with Google, you go and say, okay, this is the business we have, this is our location, this is our address. Like, the thing that pissed me off is when I typed in civil litigation attorneys, your stuff popped up. When I typed in criminal litigation attorneys, your stuff popped up. When I typed in identity theft attorneys, your stuff popped up. That's why I contacted you people, because your metadata says that you do certain things. Now, after phone calls, again, I didn't know this beforehand when I spoke to the previous lady. She had to tell me the next day, and I apologized for that because I didn't know. Your metadata says one thing, but you personally are saying another thing. That's why I'm upset.
We can't control how Google runs Google search.
Yeah, you sure can. You literally pay them a fee to go and put this information or that information on there. And then if you want to alter that, you pay them another fee because they have to go through, pay someone to fix it. That is exact, ma'am. I used to work, oh my God, I used to work for a telecommunications company. You can't go on our...
Either way, I think we're getting pretty far off the topic of how do you submit a form for a waiver, which I've already indicated to you. There is no specific form for a waiver.
Okay, so...
You just have to submit a writing that demonstrates those 3 things. You can do it by email. You can do it by delivering something in person to the
I need your email.
Police department.
I need your email. Okay, expect something in the next 5 minutes because I'm going to copy paste exactly what was in my FOIA form and you're going to get it. So expect it in 5
Well,
minutes.
if you're going to copy and paste exactly what's in your FOIA form,
No.
again, that's not going to work because
Yeah.
FOIA applies to federal records.
Yeah.
It does not comply with Idaho code's
So-
requirement.
so, ma'am,
What must be
what-
demonstrated to get a fee waiver?
Yeah, thank you. That was the other thing that I was going to pull up. Because it does state that in the Lewiston FOIA request form. So when I go through the Lewiston...
We don't have a FOIA request.
Ma'am, it's on the Lewiston Police Idaho website. Stop interrupting me.
It's a request for public records, which is different than FOIA.
That is... Okay. It does not matter. If a body cam is a matter of public record, I can request that. You are literally being an annoying little blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go and call you anything because you're going to get upset, but you're being facetious. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I'm asking for public records. You are denying me said public records because you're saying that I didn't...
I'm not denying you a public
No,
record.
you
I
did-
just
you-
provided you a fee estimate to indicate that responding to your request will exceed 2 hours of actual labor to gather the information and to review the materials and to remove any redacted information or any information that
Yeah, you've already explained this already, and I already have all this written down. I know that. Yes, thank you for repeating yourself. You're very good at that. Even though you were the one who said earlier that we were wasting time, that I specifically was wasting time, right? And like that's why I berated you.
Because
So
you were talking about stuff that was happening at a private business or involving other officers.
fully relevant. Your office told me to go to the police for help. The police, yeah, no, this is 100% relevant.
How to request a fee waiver.
No, so again,
But
Judge,
I'm not
I
a police
provided
officer, so
I provided
I don't
instances
perform
for
a
the
law
fee waiver,
enforcement
and as you can
function.
state, she reviewed it, and during her review, it does not qualify for a fee waiver. So again, not only is she getting
that was
paid,
me.
yeah,
That
not
was
only
me who reviewed it.
well, you
That was not
you
anyone else. It was me.
you are the
I mean,
one talking to me on behalf of the company. So when I say you, I'm talking about
What
the company.
I work for the city of Lewiston, which is a municipal corporation of the state of Idaho. So I guess we're a municipal company,
Okay.
if you want to use the literal term of corporation, but we are a governmental entity. We are not a private corporation.
Okay, yeah, so thank you. Yeah, you're actually paid by taxpayer money. See, because the previous person that I spoke to in the Lewiston
Paid
Police
by
Department...
taxpayer information.
Stop interrupting me. I already let you get your explanation out. You're being very rude. Again, you're not letting me go and talk. Every time I try and talk, you cut my words off. We're 43 minutes in. I have multiple instances, so I will be charging you for a violation of rights for each individual instance, just so you know. And just so you are aware, I will also be sending you my fee schedule as well to go with the FOIA request or the public records request if you want to be facetious about my choice of words. But again,
Well, if you're gonna
I'm not
charge
an
me fees,
attorney.
do I have the option of not talking
Your
to you
job
at
is
that
a public
point, or would that
official.
also be a violation of your First
Your
Amendment
job. I
right?
can't hear you because I was not done talking, so I don't know what you just said,
Oh.
and I'm still not done talking.
I
But
said,
again,
if you said
I
that
am not done
does that mean that I have the
talking.
right to not
Judge,
communicate
she's
with you,
interrupting
or
me
would that be a
again.
violation of your First
1987,
Amendment right?
Houston versus Hill. She's interrupting me. She's not allowed to. She's a public official. She's not allowing me to voice my opinions, beliefs, and all kinds of other stuff. She's violating my creed. She's violating all kinds of stuff. Judge, you better tell her to stop. Each individual charge will get charges added.
Is there a judge on this phone call? 'Cause
No.
I'm not sure how a judge would be able to tell me to stop
bec-
if they're not participating in this phone call
Oh, see,
currently.
yeah, no, you're just being facetious. You know that this is going to be going in front of a judge, and you know that. Okay, that's fine. You can go ahead, keep interrupting me. So, but as I stated, all of this could have been taken care of if your person had just said the same exact thing at the beginning of the call, like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I understand your explanation, but." There's no actual blah, 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 right? Because I told her I went and I have a video showing that right? Because there's lots of people who don't know what to do. I've spoken with people in the police department who said, hey, not my job, talk to these people. I have it all recorded. I have it from your people who are being completely unhelpful, right? All you had to do is just say, sorry, we don't actually have a form for that. So the form that you filled online with the City of Lewiston Police Department, right, where they force you to identify every single factor for you rather than being able to do a anonymous claim, which you can do everywhere else, which I don't understand. But again, you're going to force me to...
Idaho law under 74-102 sub.
You're not a state is not allowed to go and create a law that violates the rights of the no. Constitutional law is broken. Constitution overrides state law. No. Article 4, Section 2. Article 4, Section 2. Article 4, Section 2. Article 4, Section 2. The states are not allowed to create laws that go against the. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Completely irrelevant. Throw it out, Judge. Throw it out, Judge. Nope. You know as well as I do, states can't go and create a law that goes against the actual Constitution. So that's a direct violation right there. Nope. And I don't care.
Can you identify where in the U.S.
I'm not doing anything for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you if you finished submitting the complaint form for your previous employee. Is what I'm doing. You can go ahead and disagree with why I'm filing the complaint, but you've already stated to me that I just need to resubmit the form a different way, which I will. Thank you for that, for clarifying that. But again, this is just me now verifying, because I'm not going to let you waste any more of my time. Have you actually submitted the complaint? Because again, I've had multiple instances with the police department where I've submitted at least 4 complaints, and I'm pretty sure none of them have been written in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just verifying with you, because I said I was going to do this earlier. Have you submitted a complaint, yes or no, for the previous interaction with your subordinate? And again,
under Idaho Code 74-106, subparagraph 1, matters relating to employee discipline is exempt from public information. So personnel matters are not a public matter as far as they relate to disciplinary acts. So whether or not a complaint's been submitted, any action taken based off of a complaint, that stuff is not public information.
It's directly relevant, though, because if you don't have complaints against you, then I'm going to hang up now. Or no, I'm going to hang up after I find out if you've actually submitted the complaint or not. Because you can go ahead and read whatever statute you want. And again, we're going to go ahead and argue that at a different time, whether it's valid or not. But I just need to know whether or not you have submitted the complaint. It's a simple yes or no. If you're not going to...
Again, matters relating to grievances or anything, employee discipline is exempt from public information. So I'm not going to disclose anything related to any personnel action that may or may not be taken against Lorraine.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking you now if you've wasted my time for 50 minutes or if you're actually going to. You don't have to tell me what's in the complaint. It's just I am trying to submit a complaint. So when I go and if I were to submit it in paper, I would get a receipt. Okay, my receipt now is the 50-minute phone call that we're on, and that's why when I show the judge, hey, I made a complaint about this, you can see I'm visibly upset. Like I explained how I was upset, how I'm shaking, right? And during the call, she's being facetious. She's violating my rights. She's not allowing me to express my right. Like I said, I'm gonna I don't mind. I don't mind this. You guys are just.
I mean, you have been allowed to express your feelings for the last 50 minutes.
See, because you keep interrupting me, and you're throwing off my train of thought, and you're not allowing me to speak. So you can go ahead and justify however you want, but again, I'm have it recorded, and I will go through the recording, and every time you violate my rights, I am going to be charging you for that. So just be aware of that. And in the email, I will be sending my fee schedule. I will be sending you my fee schedule. I've already told you of at least one rights violation that I will be charging you for, and there are codes, both state and federal, for that. So I'm done speaking about that. What was your name and badge number again? I asked you that earlier.
I don't have a badge number. I've told you that. My name is Jennifer Tingano. My last name is spelled T-E-N, like the number 10, G-O-N-O. My information is also on the city's website. It's also on the page called Obtaining Public Records and Police Reports, and I'm listed as the city attorney.
Okay, yeah, so see, you know exactly what portal that I'm talking about when I say that I submitted a FOIA request. So, okay, thank you.
Well, you did not submit a FOIA request. You submitted a request for public records.
Go back into my document and see what the title of it says. It's on every
Information Act.
FOIA. That is a FOIA request.
Yes, people mistakenly do that all the time. But even if that aspect of it is incorrect,
and then you can read further where it says that this is a request for such and such information, so you can go ahead.
Comply with the U.S. codes that you're citing. However, I must comply with Idaho code.
So you just heard that, Judge. Someone who swore to uphold the U.S. Constitution first, and then the Idaho State Constitution after. If you were, in fact, a lawyer here in Idaho and not somewhere else, which I'll be asking for that. Oh, I am going to need your delegation of authority bonding information as well. because yeah, no, that's completely unacceptable. Because
I don't require a delegation of authority. I am
protect me and my rights and my family's rights. And like I said, whether you choose to, whether you think you have or not, you have violated our rights. I've made you aware of it multiple times, and after you were made aware of it, you still chose to do it, which means you were being malicious. So that's why I'm going to be filing litigation against you. I don't have to tell you the specifics. I'm just telling you that I'm going to be including you in said litigation. So that's that. I will, if I have to, I will send a letter of intent to, if I have to, I will send a letter of intent to sue, which I don't have a problem doing that. And then after the letter of intent to sue, once I get in touch with my attorneys, I will have them get in touch with you with an actual lawsuit, if it ever gets to that point. But the letter of intent to sue is basically me reaching out because I'm going to want a kind of mediation, because I've gone through lawsuits before. I've won lawsuits before. I know the mental, physical anguish that comes with said lawsuits, whether you win or lose. It does not matter whether you are on the winning side or the losing side. It is detrimental to your health, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, right? I'm trying to give you guys the chance when I say mediation, right? That's basically what I'm trying to do with all this stuff. I tried to reach out for help, got denied help. I reached out to someone else for help, got denied help, right? Every time I go and I reach out for help, someone says, it's not my job, go to them. It's not my job, go to them, right? And like I said, you can go and say that this is a waste of time, but you proved to me, just like I said, all these other people, you and the city of Lewiston do not care about the rights of the citizens that you were violating. You specifically knew you were being facetious. You knew you were being malicious, knew that I was upset that you were interrupting me over and over and over. Like I said, I was polite at the beginning. I went on a long rant. I apologized for said rant, and I let you go ahead and have your turn. When you were discussing things, I was like, yep, yep, exactly, right? And I was agreeing with you. I wasn't interrupting you. I was clarifying statements. Yes, right? And I let you get through your long segment. That's perfectly fine. I try and open my mouth to talk. You interrupt me. You're being rude. Right? If you don't want to give me your information, that's fine. I'll get it later. That is perfectly fine. And I don't care if you don't like how I'm speaking to you now. Because you were rude, I had to change how I was talking. See how I'm not done talking, Judge, and she still wants to go and interrupt what I'm saying? She's not letting me get through my thoughts and beliefs. This is another thing. No, that's okay.
Yep. Telling me you're going to charge me fees as a part of this.
Yeah, talking to an imaginary judge. So, as you can see, Judge, she's being facetious. She's going out of her way to be very, very blunt and being. Nope, that's okay.
And
all right.
You're denying yourself the opportunity to have another use of your time.
No, see, that's okay. Thank you. I'm going to hang up now. You've proven my point very, very, very well. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yep. You have a good rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you. Goodbye. Hey, wait. Actually, you didn't have to go and tell me whether or not what was on the stuff. But again, are you actually going to file the complaint? So that way, when I call, is there going to be a receipt? Because again, if I filed something on paper, I would get a receipt of said interaction. So this is now a verbal confirmation. Are you going to do it? Yes or no?
Again, information related to personnel
repeating the same thing over and over. You can go ahead and hide behind that all you want, but again, you're being facetious. You're knowingly keeping me from my business. So again, yes or no?
Knowingly following Idaho code.
You're obviously not. If I go and I give you said codes and you go and state that, oh, guess what, you didn't do it right.
Related to grievances or performance evaluations are not public information.
I'm not asking about previous one. This is something that I am directly involved with. That's why I'm asking for it. I'm not asking if she has, let's say, 20 complaints on her. I'm not asking for all of them. I'm asking very specifically for the complaint that I am filing, the one that I need, because I need a confirmation number for said complaint. Just like if I were to make a public records request online, after it's done, it generates a code. Right? Like mine, I think online is like 27-1057 or something like that, right? Because I went and I submitted something and I now have the receipt for it. So again, I'm just trying to figure out if you are going to do it, because again, I need the confirmation number or the receipt number. You can literally go and look.
Related to public records, whether or not a request has been submitted is public information, but whether or not a grievance has been filed against a public employee is not public information in the state of Idaho.
I'm so glad that you go and you think that the state of Idaho supersedes the the Constitution and federal law. So that's
Well, I mean, the Constitution did delegate anything not specifically identified in it to the states.
So and yeah, so yeah, when I have a
So
actual
unless you can tell me where in the U.S. Constitution the right to submit a public records
Ooh.
request to a state agency or to receive information about public employees' disciplinary action is in the U.S. Constitution, then I feel like it's not in the Constitution, and it's not a violation of the Constitution if I'm following.
Excuse me,
state
baby.
law.
All right, hold on one sec. I have it saved somewhere.
It's official. Linus needs glasses. Linus trying on his new glasses.
Actually, no, you're wasting my time. I need to get this taken care of today, and I've already proven that you're being facetious, so you're done. Okay, yeah, you're not going to be helpful at all. You've already told me at least 5-6 times that you're denying me my request, so thank you very much. I will be...
I have not denied your
You sure
request.
have.